Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We have to give Days of Our Lives Konstantin credit for being a very smooth talker if there is one thing. For everything, he has a response and an explanation. He has consistently been able to talk his way out of situations where he is exposed as a liar and creep closer and closer to Maggie. Maggie continues to welcome the con guy into her home while knowing that Victor and Konstantin were fierce foes. Hey, who are we to pass judgment? A man with an accent, after all, is hard to turn away. Furthermore, Konstantin possesses that quality in plenty. Despite having grown up in Ontario, Canada, John Kapelos has a strong Greek heritage. In addition to his fluency in Greek, he also demonstrates a good understanding of how to appropriately interpret his words when speaking in English. He said, "I had a lot of authentic people in my family that spoke very, very similarly to Konstantin when asked where the accent originated in an interview with Soap Opera Digest. So, my teachers were excellent." Regarding the demeanor and style of speech of Konstantin, Kapelos based them on an Athenian gentleman that my father knew that was very erudite and quite free with his opinions. He was a really kind person, but a lot of these Greek males have a tendency to ramble on. To say that Konstantin is a pontificate would be an understatement, given his obvious belief that he is an expert in everything and that he can outsmart everyone at any time. The problem is, not many people these days believe it save Maggie, and Julie, though to be fair, she doesn't deal with the Greek con as much. As a result, Konstantin will eventually get into problems he can't negotiate his way out of. But when? Maggie's grief and loneliness have left her open to Konstantin's charming remarks, but it might be too late if she doesn't see the reality before falling in love. Despite Konstantin's persistent efforts to court Teresa through Alex, it appears that he is not getting any closer to proposing to Maggie. At this point, though, it might take something extreme to eventually get her to open her eyes. Perhaps Teresa will have to admit the truth. Perhaps Konstantin will go too far in exacting his retribution on John. It doesn't appear that will occur anytime soon, though. This week's spoilers indicate that Konstantin will simply utilize some unfortunate news to continue dazzling Maggie. It's his specialty. Note what we say, though. She will eventually come to see him for what he really is. And when that day comes, she'll send Konstantin packing, all the way back to Greece, along with his accent. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, John Black will never stop thinking about what he thinks he did to Katharina in Aria all those years ago. It's clear that John finds it difficult to forgive himself for killing a helpless young woman. There's a good likelihood John is not culpable for the incident since no one saw it happen. According to our day's forecasts, John will eventually learn the truth and clear his reputation in Greece. However, DOL teasers indicate that John will have to cope with additional guilt in the interim. John is suffering because he is aware that he was once capable of doing terrible things, and he may be wondering if this is something he could do in the future. Fans of Days are aware that Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, and Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, are always attempting to persuade John that he is no longer the same guy. John might not be so confident, particularly if he learns that Konstantin Meliunis can use the red card to control him and rekindle the pawn. John may have a suspicion that his programming can still be activated even if he doesn't explicitly say so. John might become afraid of what he might do and who he might harm next as a result. Perhaps this is the reason John and Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, will speak about Bayview over the week of April 8th to 12th. According to previews for Days, Harris might be able to identify because he didn't think his own indoctrination was permanent. For this reason, Harris persuaded Marlena Evans to sign the paperwork requiring his commitment to Bayview, where he would receive therapy. Is it possible that John will take a look at living in Bayview and advocate for fresh deprogramming to ensure that the pawn disappears forever? Marlena might, of course, argue against it, particularly given that Bayview is primarily intended for serious offenders. For his own peace of mind, John might, however, argue that he is one and ask Marlena to approve this. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, John still has a long way to go. Follow us for updates on all the shocking information that will be revealed soon. Editors have selected all of the goods and services on their own. But orders made through Soaps.com's retail connections could result in a commission for Soaps.com, and the retailer might get some auditable data for bookkeeping needs. For fans of Days of Our Lives, we have both good and bad news. The good news is that we finally found out when Salem's beloved Doug Williams and actor Bill Hayes will be leaving us. The unfortunate news is that we will have to bid farewell to a man who has been a vital component of the program since his 1970 Salem debut, 54 years ago. But that still has a little while to go. It is not shocking in the slightest that the show was filming his final episodes. Since Hayes died away in January, it was only a matter of time until Days of Our Lives figured out how to give her a send-off that would be both appropriate and unforgettable. Furthermore, within the past week or two, we have been informed of some somewhat surprising comebacks, including Gloria Loring's Liz Chandler and Steve Olson played by Steven Schnetzer. And we surmised that they probably had to return for Doug's burial. It has come to light that the show was holding back on ending its run in order to incorporate the funeral into the show's 15th episode, another significant milestone for Days of Our Lives. According to a program representative, the show is doing a special celebration for the life and memory of the character he portrayed for so many years with Bill Hayes passing. Gloria Loring, Steven Schnetzer, and other notable and beloved legacy characters are being able to return to Salem as a result of Doug Williams' funeral. This week's taped episodes include the landmark 15th episode and Doug's funeral. The first time they air is in December 2024. So, sure, not only are we getting some incredible returns, and we can pretty confidently guarantee we'll keep learning about more as the event draws nearer, but it also sounds like the cast and fans of Days of Our Lives are in for a very historic send-off. Yes, you did indeed read the final part correctly. About 8 months remain till then. Nevertheless, anything worthwhile is worthwhile to do well, as they say. And rather than receiving something hastily put together, we'd like to wait for a farewell worthy of Hayes and Doug. Furthermore, since we now know that Doug will live to a considerable age on screen, we will be able to witness his return to his cherished house before to the conclusion. We'll take the victory and hope that we can all say goodbye to Doug and Hayes with a joyous celebration of love. Editors have selected all of the goods and services on their own. But orders made through Soaps.com's retail connections could result in a commission for Soaps.com, and the retailer might get some auditable data for bookkeeping needs. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.